Hey guys, I'm back in the shop, so there's going to be some shop noise. I know not everybody's a fan of that, but I kind of like the shop noise when shoppy things are shopping at the shop. So, today we're looking at a new light from Olight. Now, I don't know if it's brand new, to tell you the truth, but it's new to me. I didn't even know that they had intended for me to do a review. It just showed up in the mail one day, and turns out that I checked my spam folder and there was an email saying, hey, we've got another sale going on. We're sending you a light. Would you check it out and do a review on it? So, you can check the video description for information on the sale for this one. I love that Olight, when they have a sale, they send me a light and they say do a video, because I'm always honest with you guys, and I don't try to say oh, I don't care about this company, but no, I love Olight. Olight makes great products, and Olight is one of my top favorite, EDC and tactical light companies. There's usually one of them featured in my EDC or my pack or something. It's always with me. They just make fantastic products. So I'm always happy when they send me something and they say take a look at it. Sometimes they have some features I'm not thrilled with, but overall I think they make a great product. So today we're looking at the S1R Baton II. Now they've been doing a lot of updates to some of their previous products. Improvements, a lot of which has to do with the internal stuff that we can't actually see. But brightness levels, battery life, reducing the amount of heat it throws off over time and stuff like that. Now some people like a bigger light. I'm always talking about this. I call them the Gorilla Goon hands. I've got these huge hands. Now this is the S1 Baton that came in BattleBox EDC 2.0. This is a good light. It throws off a lot of light, but for big hands like mine, it kind of gets lost. And I don't like that I like that it's efficient in that it gives off a lot of light in a small package. Small package. And that, it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's very, very lightweight. But sometimes I like a larger light. Now, I actually don't have the M1X Striker, which I always say over and over is my all-time favorite Olight. Because this was a last minute, it's a Saturday, I wasn't intending to be at the shop, there's some stuff that needed to get done here. But I grabbed a couple lights that I feel like we're going to compare to this one. This is the M1T Raider, which I think we can look at compared to the S1R in terms of performance and size. You can see that, in a big hand, this one just gives you a little bit more grip and real estate than something like this. Now, there are a lot of people that are going to like a nice small light like this. So I guess I'm going to shut up now and stop babbling, and we'll just open this guy up. Okay, so inside the package, you have a README. You have what's inside the box. One of the big differences between... Hi, Ethan. Are you a superhero? You're Spider-Man, cool. One of the biggest differences, biggest improvements between the S1 and the S1R. The S1R, the R standing for rechargeable, so it's got that magnetic rechargeable base in it. But other than that, you can see the size is different, but there's some external differences that we'll talk about, improvements in a moment. Inside, I love that Olights have this nice, cool pouch to keep stuff in. It's fuzzy, feels nice, nice. So inside, this is new. I haven't seen this in another Olight. So I guess this is a little battery keeper chamber to store your batteries. You should, and I'm guilty of this, you should take your batteries out when the flashlights are not in use. Preserves battery life and prevents any corrosion inside the light. Anybody that's stored batteries, especially alkalines long term, and then come back to a cruddy, corroded battery, you know what I'm talking about. We've got the USB magnetic charger, which is so awesome. And that also means that we then have the magnetic base on the light itself, so it can stick to things. And then, of course, the lanyard right here. So let's go ahead and put this on before we go forward. Put this little guy in. My hands look kind of shiny. It's because I was just top coating some stuff. And I forgot to wear gloves again. So I have a very nice spit shine on some of the fingers on my hand. One of the big external differences you can see here starting with the texturing on the barrel. So much better grippiness there, especially in a small flashlight. If you compare the two, you are going to get much better traction on this than this, especially in wet or gloved conditions. They've got the really cool new clip that lets you use it for pocket use or reverse it for use kind of on the bill of a hat, you know, as a hands-free light, whereas this just had the one deep carry clip. So more options basically with the S1R. Size and weight feels roughly the same. No big difference there. One of the biggest differences that you can't see when the flashlight is not on is that you have double the light power with the S1R. So this gives you a maximum output of about 500, well not about, of 500 lumens. Your maximum output here is up to 1,000 lumens. Now, sometimes that changes depending on what battery you use. They always recommend you use the rechargeable type battery for max output. This comes with, of course, a rechargeable battery in there. Let me show you the specs real quick so I don't have to put text on there. Okay, cool. So let's unscrew this and take off the little plastic safety cap there. This battery right here, the 16340, this is basically the rechargeable version of the good old CR123 Alpha. Battery box, really simple. Take your battery out for long-term storage to prevent it from getting corroded in there. So, like similar Olights, you've got the one button mode and on-off switch. Now this is one of my pet peeves. What I love about my M1X Striker is that they built in a separate on-off switch from the mode switch. I understand in a flashlight as small as this, and especially one where you have the magnetic charging base right there, you might not have room for those. This is, like I said, sometimes I'm not a big fan of some of the features, but I get it, it's a small light. I will always go for a separate on-off switch though from your mode. To start with, if it's off and you hold this switch, and I'm going to shine this one at the camera right now because we're doing the moonlight mode, which is half a lumen. You hold the button down for longer than 1 second and you get your moonlight mode. Half a lumen, I mean, it really doesn't even barely register as on. You can't even see it here. When we test it out tonight, you'll see how that works. And then one click and it goes off. If you want to go directly to your turbo mode is your 1000 lumens. Double click, and there you go. You've got 1000 lumens of light right there. Now it might not register as very bright right now in front of me because the camera's going to do some adjusting for the light, and we can single click to turn it off. And I like that it kind of, did you notice how it doesn't like instant on, instant off? It kind of fades in and out a little bit. That's kind of cool. Now, otherwise, if you just press the button, it goes on, and you've got the LED battery indicator there. I'm trying to get it so you can see it, green for good. Hold the button down to cycle through your modes. Now, I'm thinking this is your low 12 lumen mode, medium 60, high 600. And that's going to return us to low. So you can't get to moonlight without doing your off and then hold it to go on. You also can't get to turbo without doing your double click. But then you can also hold it down and go back to your regular modes. It does have a memory, so it'll go back to the last mode that you had it on. So if we go to the 12 lumen mode and turn it off, and then turn it back on, it's going to go right back to that, which is cool. Of course, we've got a strobe mode, and to get to the strobe mode, it's 3 quick clicks. And you can hold it down to get back to your regular, or just turn it off. So kind of the standard Olight features that you have in a lot of the other Olights. What you've got here basically is an improved external design, better features there, higher actual, light lumens, and the improved convenience of being able to recharge this thing just by plugging it in. I love doing this, throwing the charger on there. to me, you know, this feature is awesome. I've used it a lot. Now I've got a fancy Nightcore battery charger that gives all sorts of readouts on the battery when you put the battery in it, and that's cool. It lets you know like what state your batteries are in, how much actual charge they're holding and stuff like that, if you really want to do like a diagnostic on your battery. But if you're just using this thing and you want a good quick charge to get it going, this is one of the most efficient charging systems I think I've seen in a really long time. So, tell you what we will do. I'm going to go do some more work in the shop here. I actually have some Warhammer model tanks that have been dipped and painted, and I need to get them, now they've been gloss coated to seal everything in, I need to get them flat coated. That's what I'm working on today. I'm going to finish that, and we will reconvene tonight in the dark, in the backyard, to test this out side by side with the original S1 Baton to see the difference in lighting and coverage and stuff. So. All right, out here about 1 in the morning in the dark. So I can't do all the things I normally do in a flashlight test because I don't have any glow-in-the-dark material. But as standard, I have the reflective 550 cord on the fence at the end of the yard over there. I have the standard S1 Baton and the S1R Baton II in my hands right here. You can't see them because it's pitch black, but they're waving in front of the camera right now. I have the camera zoomed in a bit on that reflective material and the end of the yard over by that fence. So we are going to test out both of these lights kind of side by side to show the difference between the S1 and the S1R and some of the improvements there. So I've got the S1 on the left, the S1R on the right. We're going to start off by doing the moonlight mode, holding it down just for a second. And these are identical, and you can probably, there you go, they're about the same. And I will hold my hand out in front of the camera, and you can see that right in front of the camera, it's a good light, but as we look out, I don't know if it's going to show up, you can barely see that reflective 550 cord show up. So your half lumen mode, I guess, is good for doing some small tasks. You want to preserve your night vision, working literally right in front of your face. I'm going to pan the camera down a little bit so you can see the snowiness right in front, but I mean, even that, it barely illuminates the area. And as I pan the camera back up, you'll see how quickly that light stops illuminating the ground in front of us. Now from there, I'm going to hold the button down. We're going to go first on the right to low power mode, which is not bad. And then on the left, I think that these modes are about equal, S1, S1R. Yeah, about equal. I don't think there's any difference in the amount of light or the field of regard for the light as I switch on and off. It's about the same there. With the S1R, you get that nice LED indicator for your battery life, and you don't get that one with the S1 here, you see. Okay, moving up a mode. So here's medium with the S1R, medium with the S1. Now this is where I think we might start to see a little bit of a difference. See that reflective cord over there? I don't know. So, see, these modes are still pretty much the same. Moving up to the high mode. Now this is when we, on the high mode, this is when we start to see a difference here and the camera's having trouble focusing. So high mode and high mode, I think you can start to see a little bit of a difference here. Okay. Now this is where you're really going to see a difference. So I'm going to turn them both off. Actually, I want to do that again. So look at the S1 instant on off. This is the S1R. where you have that fade on off, which I understand is better for the circuitry and the electronics inside. Now, going to our brightest mode, the S1 tops out at its high mode, the 500 lumen mode. So we can go directly from off to high, which gives us 500 lumens, but we can go directly to turbo on the S1R, and there is, I don't know if you can see, a significant difference. I mean, you can see, here I am, like I'm bringing the S1R in and out. So here you can see the big difference between the 1000 lumen turbo mode of the S1R and the regular high mode of the S1. Now, because this is getting pretty hot in my hand right now, there is a timer feature on it. So it will automatically turn it off after 3 minutes, just so that nothing overheats. The strobe modes of both of these are the same. Cool. Let's go ahead and get these inside and do our little wrap-up. Well, after looking at the S1R compared to the S1, I think they made some great improvements. I think this one gives a lot of versatility. I think that the external improvements are great. I think that the internal improvements are great. I think if I was going to carry a small light like this, I would much rather carry the S1R over the S1. The S1, though, if you're not looking, if you don't need all the power and all the features that it has, save yourself a little bit of money and pick up the S1. They're both good options. They're both really good options. Olight does not make a bad product as far as I'm concerned. Everything they make is really good. But here's the cool thing. So, Olight is having a really cool Black Friday sale. And it doesn't just include the S1R. There's a lot of different stuff. They gave me information to give you folks, so you can check the video description for a lot more info. But so, like I say over and over, I love Olight. I trust Olight. I carry Olight. And I'm always happy when they send me something else to take a look at. So I hope everybody has a fantastic either Thanksgiving or Thursday, depending on where you live in the world. One of my top favorite holidays anyway. I've got some turkeying to do. I hope you guys, if you do check out the sale, pick up some cool stuff. You guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will be back again real soon.